Ladies and gentlemen, Edmund Hillary, the first mountaineer to climb the Mount Everest, had once said, "People do not decide to be extraordinary, they decide to accomplish extraordinary things." But perhaps in this quest to become fearless and conquer the world's highest peak, there's a lot that has gone wrong for more reasons than one. Take a look at these visuals. They are from Mount Everest in Nepal. Videos of this traffic jam at the Everest have now gone viral, with 2 people even feared dead. At 8,848 meters, the world's highest peak attracts mountaineers from around the world to achieve what is called the Everest dream. But apart from the unprecedented footfall of humans, here's what the poor mountain has been going through every day since years: global warming, piling of human excreta, scattered solid waste, and pollution. Now, the month of May is considered to be ideal for the expedition. However, at present, there is no limit on the number of people who can climb. Should there be? And should governments around the world, which depend on adventure tourism, take action now before it gets too late? Joining me on Nation Tonight to answer all these questions is a man who has been a mountaineer himself, the first Indian and the youngest to have climbed the 7 highest peaks across the 7 continents of the world. Satyarup Siddhanta is joining us on the broadcast. Satyarup, good evening, and thank you very much for speaking with us on Mirror Now. When you see those visuals, Satyarup, as a mountaineer, let me first ask you, what's the first feeling that you get?
Yeah, it is a little disturbing, but I have a different take on that. So, maybe during the course of the meeting we can talk about that. But yeah, it is a little disturbing because when we climbed Everest, we didn't had that kind of huge line there, and the serenity of the place gets compromised.
But isn't it disappointing, Satyarup? You already have the climate crisis going on. That is a huge challenge to tackle. And now you have this kind of overcrowding, this kind of, quote unquote, traffic jams at the Mount Everest.
No, you're absolutely correct. But what I wanted to tell was, 400 permits have been given. So imagine even if 300 permits have been given, if it is stretched across 10 days, then it would have been like 30 climbers per day, right? But unfortunately, what is happening here is the climate change, which we are not talking about. The weather window has shrunk to only 3-4 days. Out of that, people are trying to go for the best weather day because you don't want to lose your fingers due to cold and all. Now, every single person is trying to go on that one particular day. So 200 climbers and 200 Sherpas are attempting on that good day because the other days are not available. So we have to think deeper, because even if it is 100 permits had been given, all those 100 would have gone on that same day with 100 Sherpas. Still 200 is a big number. So we need to think that why is this weather windows behaving like that? Are we not taking the climate change into consideration properly? Because a few years back also we had in Nehru Institute of Mountaineering in Draupadi Kadanda, we had a huge avalanche and a lot of mountaineers, upcoming budding mountaineers who were the trainees, they all died. We are not understanding that now because of this climate change issues, the small mountains are becoming very risky. 6,000 meter and less mountains, the temperature are going up, the weather patterns are changing. It will create more avalanches, more glaciers will be retreating. So we have to tackle those the minute problems first, because then because one fine day we will see that these mountains will not be able to be climbed because the weather is not giving the right opportunities, the right windows. Even it can create more accidents, when this kind of situation will arise. So I think, yes, definitely we have to rethink with how do we adapt ourselves to the climate change, and can we limit the number of permits. We have to also understand that Nepal thrives on the tourism, and from the permit, that $11,000 permit fee, people are, the economy of Nepal is also it is getting impacted.
You know, Satyarup, what's also unfortunate is that it's not just climate crisis. The Everest and the mountains are seeing other challenges as well, whether it's solid waste management or the piling of human excreta, and that has been going on for years. That also is something that one needs to look at when you look at the kind of problems and the environmental concerns that have emerged.
Yeah, I agree to that, Shreya. Even along with that, there are also a problem of some inexperienced climbers coming into the Everest, just paying the money. So the outfitters are taking without doing a proper check. Even this time, a Nepali climber died who didn't have the knowledge even to wear a harness, which is a basic mountaineering thing. You know, I had my friend yesterday, I met him. He climbed Everest, and he told that he taught him in the Khumbu icefall that how to wear a harness. So this is very much not acceptable, and this is creating risk for all other people as well. Now coming to the other pollution things, definitely the waste management is a big problem. But Sagarmatha Pollution Control Committees, SPCC, they have been collecting $5,000 non-refundable fee to tackle the bringing back the things. Because however we shout about that that it is how like we have to bring back all the debris and all, the reality is that when you finish a climb, you are so exhausted that it becomes very difficult to even bring yourself down, right? So there it is very difficult to put a imposition on people that you have to bring it, otherwise you'll be fined, given a fine. But people would be more than happy to pay a fine than to bring that, but what they can think is that they can have every year one separate expedition only to clean up, because they had been already collecting that fee. The pollution SPCC, they are collecting a fee. Definitely let them increase that amount and let them have dedicated team who can bring back the things and all. And a lot of people have been doing also, they're bringing back the trash, and they're trying to do meaningful things out of the trash. They are trying to recycle that and making it more eventually. But yes, it is a I totally understand, and I'm with you that yes, this is a problem. But just to force people to try to bring their waste back is a very noble thought. But in practicality, it can also result in a human life loss as well, because of the tiredness and the unstable Khumbu icefall that is there. This year it has been very dangerous when people were coming back. It was crevasses opening up. People had to jump lot of things and all. Imagine there, if you have to carry another 5 kg, you will be actually risking the life. But in case if a separate team of Sherpas can be sponsored by SPCC with the money that has been collected, if they can go and bring it back, and next year they're increasing the permit fee to $16,000. So with this additional money, definitely this can be tackled in a much smarter way. That's my take on this.
Can I also ask you, Satyarup, then, you've been talking about permits, and mountaineering clearly is not a very cheap adventure to, pursue. It costs thousands and lakhs of rupees. Can I understand from you the procedure that happens when you have to go on that Everest expedition?
Yeah, so typically the Nepal government charges a permit fee, which is around $11,000, right, for every climber that is attempting Mount Everest. Okay. This is also, they have increased that price to ensure that not too many people flock there. But then in reality, many people are flocking there still. So they are now increasing to $16,000 in the upcoming season, in the next season. So apart from that, Mount Everest typically takes 55 days from Kathmandu to Kathmandu to do the whole expedition. So that many days, stay, food, then people have to use oxygen, then their oxygen cylinder cost, and the porter cost, and the guide cost, and the agency cost. So anything from, if it is a local Nepali operator, they might charge you 25 lakhs for climbing Mount Everest, and it can go to 1 crore to 2 crore as well, depending on Western outfitters and depending on who is guiding, how many Sherpas you are taking. So it's definitely it's a big number compared to Indian mountaineering, in the Indian Himalayas. we have permit fees as less as 2,500 rupees. Yeah, but because it's the highest mountain in the world, so the country is trying to make the most out of it from the tourism. And since in Nepal, tourism is the majority contribution for towards the economy. So if every person is spending 25 lakhs to 40 lakhs on an average, including their equipments, right? Out of that, $5,000 as a team goes. I have to see the correct number now, but earlier time it was $5,000. It was non-refundable unless you bring back the waste, and nobody brings back the waste by themselves, so they are okay to pay that for $5,000 and get away with it. So it is not. So here I was talking about that it is not helping to solve the problem. So people will pay the money. Where is that money going? Nobody knows. But better if all this money is collected and a team is formed who can go, dedicated team every year, that because there are so many dead bodies are also there lying, because to bring a dead body down, it costs almost 1 crore rupees, 50 lakh rupees to bring down. Who is going to be the sponsor for that, right? So nobody is just going to, because the person is already dead, the family might not be able to cover that much expense. So so it's a very tricky area.
And therefore, Satyarup, should there be a cap or a limit on the number of climbers that are sent to the Everest expedition? Would that help?
Yes, there should be ideally, but there is a tremendous pressure from all these companies as well, because it is bringing a lot of revenue to the country. So every year there is a talk that Nepal should limit the number of climbers, but every year we see that almost 450 plus climbers have been given a permit. So that is a concern that Nepal has to identify that what they should do about it. But let me tell you, when I have been to Antarctica or when I have been to Denali, which is in Alaska, we had been given a special area where we have to even put our pee there in a bottle. We have to collect and put it there, such that it is centrally collected and it is taken back from Antarctica to Chile, because it's according to a treaty. So when there is a will, there is a way. So if they are strict, definitely people, it is a possibility. Even there was a temporary arrangement of a shower. Even the shower water is getting accumulated underneath in a tank, and that tank is taken in a flight back. In Denali, we had been given a toilet bag which has our registration number, which had our registration number written there. So at any point of time, if that is found in any other place, they can track whose bag is that, and we will be subject to a fine. So it is possible very much to implement certain things. It comes with a cost, but it also comes with an intent, and it also comes with the outlook towards that. We understand that it is very difficult to bring things down, this and that, but there are, Antarctica is such a remote place. If it is possible there, why not here? So it requires some brainstorming, definitely.
All right, my last question, Satyarup, to you. When there are so many challenges, when there is a lot of money involved in this, what is it that is motivating young mountaineers across the world to pursue this expedition, to peak and summit the Mount Everest?
First of all, see, mountaineering has been differentiated from sports. Because mountaineering is falls under adventure sports, and it is non-competitive thing. So when we are not competing against each other and climbing, right? But of late, it has new form of athleticism has come, and people are trying to become the fastest. How fast we can do and how many times we can do, which personally I don't buy into that kind of philosophy towards climbing mountains. But it's like the whole generation is moving towards that. We can't stop anyone there, but we can always say that there are two kinds of people who climbs there to come to climb the mountain. One who needs instant fame, and then it's fine that whatever the reason might be, but it should not be at the cost of their own life. there is no shortcut to climbing these mountains, right? So if you do a thorough like if you go through a mountaineering course, then climb some other mountains and then come, it is perfectly fine. But people are trying to just attempt Mount Everest as their first mountain also, so which is not right. But as a whole, Mount Everest has been used as a metaphor so many times as that is a pinnacle of something, is the highest point of earth. So the kind of the commitment that you have to put on a dream, it's not only the commitment towards the fitness, it's also your commitment towards your life, your finance, your career, everything. It's a big commitment that one has to do. And when people has to go through that, so that journey, it is very motivating, definitely, because you are pushing your limits, you are trying to figure out you're increasing your every single mountain that you climb, typically it increases your self-confidence, self-esteem. You become a changed person once you tackle all those problems and comes back. Now, fortunately or not unfortunately, not many people are going through this kind of philosophy. But then, you can't control the why people climb the mountains. Everybody has their own reasons. Just that reason should not be impacting other people who are climbing. That reason should not be impacting their family in case they lose a limb or some fingers, or toes, or even their life. And imagine if an inexperienced person comes and gets into that kind of a long queue. If one person takes 5 minutes extra, 100 people taking 5 minutes extra is 500 minutes. Your oxygen will get over, and you are risking your life. So so I think there's lots to rethink about who should be allowed to climb, and what should be the checks that needs to be done. And one thing is for sure, that we cannot stop people from their thought why they want to climb because that is very personal. But on an ideal situation, definitely from the love of the mountain, from the love of the nature, from the vastness of the mountain. I mean, they say that it's not because you climb, not because people will see you, but you can see the world from there. So I think our world is us, within ourselves. We have to look inside, and we have to find out why we are climbing this mountain.
Well, it's said it's lonely at the top, and sometimes I think it should be good to be lonely at the top and, save our mountains. But we leave it there. Thank you very much, Satyaroop Siddhant, for joining us on Mirror Now and sharing your thoughts.